Hello everybody, this is my first video. I'm trying something new. I'm going to open up my YouTube channel and try to provide something new, I hope. My favorite game at the moment is Deus Ex. It's my favorite series, actually. And I think just to start things out, I would go with what I know best, which is Human Revolution. And I'm going to try and offer something new with it because I think most people are either doing a stealth non-lethal run or guns blazing. And I noticed from the previous Deus Ex, or at least the original, there's a little bit more of some gray area in there, and so I'm trying to introduce that into this. I'm not going to use the silenced pistol. That is one form of a lethal stealth build that you can do, but that gets a little old. I've done that before, and a little repetitious actually. So with this one, I'm using the crossbow. It's my favorite weapon in the game now, and I have some self-imposed conditions and restrictions that will try to keep it fresh, try to show you that there might be some grays to Human Revolution and Mankind Divided, which I'll be doing after this. So first I'll go into just what I set for myself, what are my goals to keep it fun. And I try and do, first of all, I try not to use any quick saves or quick loads. A lot of these are going to be toggles. In other words, it's up to you how difficult you want to make this for yourself. But the point of it is, if you have any background in G.I. Joe, Snake Eyes, the dude was a beast, and he could basically do a stealth lethal run. So that's kind of my guiding light with this. So first of all, in order to be a badass, you got to get from start to finish without relying on any cheese. And so again, no stealth pistol, or no silenced pistol rather, no quick loads, trying to just use the quick saves, and tried to dismantle each room man by man, which requires you to plan, requires you to set sort of a sequence in your killing, and also to have an intimate knowledge of the sound mechanics of the game, and the distance that sound travels, the different effects it has on the NPCs, based on the distance of the sound. So, like I said, no quick saves, no quick loads. Another one, lesson I learned from the original Deus Ex was no mini map. That was go back and play it. There's none. All of it is direct visual data. So tried to go with that on this. There also isn't any third person in the original Deus Ex, so I don't use the cover system. There's too much situational awareness bestowed with that. So I just go with direct visual data again. The only exception to that is when you go into, like, say, Typhoon explosion or a takedown. It goes into third person, and there's not much I could do about that. But I got to use those. I'd much rather do all that stuff and just deal with the third person perspective for a short while than to try and not use those wonderful and fun augmentations. So those are basically the conditions I have. I have a credit card over the screen, over where the minimap is. I've actually moved it into position where I can't even see if they're hostile or suspicious. And again, that's just, I don't want to get the information from the game that way. I feel it's much more immersive if you just use your eyes and your ears. So let's go into the augmentations. You'll see here that there's a pattern. There's a certain philosophy, but there's also some restrictions that can now or force the build into a certain type of experience. Stealth, that's the first one. Eventually I'll get to Mark and Track 3.0, but you're going to want to use this because, like I said, you're going to be dismantling each room man by man. So you want to be able to tag guys so you can keep on top of their patrol routes. Coupled with that would be smart vision. I haven't done it yet. I did it in a previous stealth lethal build. I didn't with this one because I wanted to see if I could make it even more interesting. But this is great. Just do this on your first one. Couple that with this, and you'll have lots of fun. Eventually I'll get to flash suppressant. You use concussion mines and concussion grenades a lot in this. The mechanics with that, real quick, anybody who hears it will go hostile for a short amount of time. If you make sure that only 2 people or 3 people, enough people you can deal with before they wake up or before they recover from the effects of the flash, then if you kill them and eliminate anybody who heard the grenade before they recover from the effects, then you will not lose Ghost or Smooth Operator. And those are the other 2 conditions for this. Of course, that's plastic. A lot of this stuff is plastic if you so choose. But for me, I like getting to the end of the objective and seeing that Ghost, especially if I haven't been saving or loading. I've just been killing, just been ruining. So, yeah. So flash suppressant, you can always turn around. That's what I've been doing so far. Just don't look at it. But eventually, it's so much easier just to have that, and you'll get to the point where you get enough XP to do basically what you want. I've done level 3 hacking. Real quick about this, security panel or alarm panels are typically level 3, so it's fun to disable those because you're going to have a lot of instances where enemies will try to trigger an alarm and they'll just walk up to it and look like a dumbass, and then you treat them like one with your blades. But I've done one where I only did level 1, and the point of that was to just use PDAs and the move/throw heavy objects to navigate the levels. But there's some flexibility there. I won't go 5. I just think that's too much. I think one thing that I discourage in this build is, 5 hacking, move, throw heavy objects, and cybernetic leg prosthesis. There's just too many navigational tools there. It opens up the game too wide. So, excuse me. I haven't done any of these. I don't need them. I know how to hack by now. I know what I'm doing. But you might do Fortify is a good one if you want to add any augmentations on top of just your hacking level. The first one I ever did, come on, you know this, Reflex Booster. You got to have this. You're going to be doing a lot of takedowns in this with your lethal takedowns. And, if you got 2 guys left, why not take them both out and not even worry about the sound mechanics? I had Icarus landing system in the previous one. I'm not doing it in this. Same explanation, just trying different stuff. Upgrade the energy at your will. That does not break this build. Same with Implanted Rebreather. Typhoon, it's super fun. You're a badass if you can pull this off. You're going to want to wait until almost everyone's dead because it makes a lot of noise. And there is some weirdness to it because there's a little bit of an animation when it gets started. Some guards will walk behind objects and not be killed by it, and then as soon as you kill maybe somebody else or just simply make noise, then they'll turn around, you'll lose your ghost rating, your objective. So just be careful with that, but also, man, taking out 2 or 3 dudes at the end of a room with that just drips sexy. I'm not using cloak. I think this one just breaks it. If you're having trouble, if this might be your first stealth lethal run, you might do this. You might go to level 1 and sort of just deal with the energy restrictions there so you don't cheese it. Eventually I'll go to EMP shielding and I will suffer the damage reduction augmentations, even though I'm not getting hurt a lot. Maybe for bosses, but you got to know what you're doing in that case too. So really the point here is the EMP shielding. It just helps you do different things. Cybernetic arm prosthesis. You're going to want to increase your carrying capacity. You're going to have lots of different weapons and mine templates, grenades, just different objects. So do it. Doesn't break it. Not a big deal. I didn't do this with this particular run. Like I said, I was just you want to select one path or another when it comes to level navigation. Not all of it. Break through wall or punch through wall. Always nice. Always fun if you know where the dudes are. That's a good one to combine with smart vision. You'll see when they're sitting there against the wall, and you can get a nice little lethal takedown. Arm stabilizer will eventually happen, as well as recoil compensation. They don't break the build. I've already went over this. For this particular run I'm doing, I did upgrade this so I can drop in on people or run up on people without being heard. So you can see that I tried not to to overdo it. Same with the hacking. So that's the augmentations. I'll do the weapons next, and then my second video I'll actually show combat. I've already made it a little bit into the game. I'm at the point in the storyline. I think I might give you guys sort of a story breakdown if that's what you're interested in, but I'm not going to be showing the in-between, the trekking, the vent travels, most of the hacking. I think the point of this is to show the combat, or the lack thereof, the death, the silent creeping death that you will be. So that's where I'm at. I'm in Hangsha. I've already made it to the Alice Garden pods. I'm tracking down who's fucking with Seraph and who took my girl. And so, I'm in China, and eventually I'll make it to Taiyang Medical, which is a augmentation industry company that is all sorts of shady, just bad news. And the bitch that's running it has hired some people to take my girlfriend as well as some other scientists, so that they can control the market and run for the Illuminati. You know those guys, right? You know those guys. So the weapons, crossbow, number one. So much fun. Pin people to the wall. Leave them there if you got enough crossbow bolts. Leave them as a signpost to your destruction, to your skills. And getting to the end of a level with Ghost and Smooth Operator already, with a couple guys hanging around, that's good. That's fun. Number two, in this one I had the silenced pistol, but I don't use it to kill anybody. I just use it for distractions. You're going to be using a lot of sound whoring in this, throwing boxes, fire extinguishers, shooting silenced pistols against walls, just to try to get people to go where you want them to. But to kill everyone with that pistol, it's not fun. Maybe for the first time if you're doing a stealth lethal run, but you're just going to end up shooting everyone in the head with an armor-piercing round, and then dragging them into an event and rinse and repeat. So that's one of my self-imposed restrictions. Not doing that. Silenced sniper rifle. This has a lot of overlap with the silenced pistol, so I might end up dropping one of these, probably the pistol. Silenced sniper rifle. It's okay. Kill some guys with that. Try it. Taste it. It's delicious. But it's not cheesy. It definitely requires some skill. They will hear the rifle fire from a certain distance. They will hear someone dying, even if you shoot them in the head from a certain distance. So it still requires some skill. And the last but not least is the stun gun. I'm not stunning anyone in this game. Everyone dies while they're awake, unless they're sleeping in a chair. Everyone dies with their eyes open. And so the stun gun is not what I'm not going to stun anybody and drag them into an event and shoot them in the head. Done that. With this one, I'm using the stun gun for the cameras, so that I can drag bodies away that I've killed, or laser grids. You can do that too. Both of those are temporary, and that's all you need. You cannot use an EMP on either one of those without ruining your smooth operator bonus, but you sure can do your stun gun. And it just gives you so much more flexibility. I love it. I didn't even know that until recently, despite how much I've played this. So I've had lots of fun with doing that recently. Those are your weapons. You don't really need much else than that. You're not doing a run-in gun. You're Snake Eyes. Here's my inventory. I've got my crossbow bolts. See, I only have 12. There's only so many retailers that will give you these. You have to recover them after you kill people. You have to try at least. You get about 33% recovery rate on that. I got mine templates. I got concussion mines and grenades, frag mines, and all of my energy stuff. This is something from one of the expansions. So this also sort of help you decide what you're going to do with your hacking, because if you've got these guys in your inventory, then you can pick and choose some level 5s, some level 4s, or even some level 2s if you've restricted yourself that deeply. So if you don't have these, then you might choose to, or opt to, increase your hacking skills. But that's pretty much it. That goes over the weapons. and the augmentations and the self-imposed restrictions. I'm gonna have future videos where I show how this plays out, give you some visual and some auditory data on what happens with the noise, and how to kind of take down an entire room without losing your ghost and smooth operator objectives. That's right. I do what I want. Just kidding, guys. I'm not gonna keep this one, but please stay tuned for more, because I'm learning how to do this. This is, again, my first video, so I'm gonna get a lot better at this, but there's gonna be a lot more fun, because I don't suck. I think. You decide. Come back and tell me I suck.